Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we had support at 88.5, and the break below that area resulted in responsive buyers being active in the market and turning ES back around, back up towards the highs. Overall, we can see that ES has been balancing in a very narrow range, and typically that leads to a directional move or a breakout type move. So heading into the open and later today, we have a high volume node within the current balance at 2091, and we'll be using 87 quarter to 89 quarter as the initial support zone, and that's essentially also the short-term bull bear area. So as long as buyers are holding ES above 87 quarter to 89 quarter, we know that the buy side can maintain control, but ideally you'd want to see ES holding above the 2091 high volume node, and even breaking and holding below 2091 would be a bit of a warning sign and a reason to be cautious. On the upside, the main resistance is 97.5 to 99.5, and in the event of continued balance above 2091, above 2092.75, the prior VPOC, ES can certainly be setting up for a upside break above 97.5 to 99.5. So that's of course something we'll have to wait and see in real time once the market opens to see if the buying continues and if there is continued broad market strength after the open. But if the internals are looking good, the advanced decline is rising, momentum is clearly to the upside, then continued balance above 91 to 92.75 would set ES up for a breakout above 97.5 to 99.5. And above the initial resistance zone, there is no hard resistance. The market is making all-time highs. So a breakout can certainly lead to a test of 2109 to 2111. And, that's not a hard resistance area. It's essentially just a spot where the market could be short-term exhausted. And, there could be a bit of a stall once we get to 2109 to 2111. But it's not hard resistance. So as far as an exit goes, in the event of a breakout, it's something that we'll need to gauge based on the level of volume and momentum we're seeing in the market. So on the upside, there really is no clear resistance area, right? Aside from 97.5 to 99.5. So off the open, we'll be keeping an eye on 2091, the prior VPOC at 92.75. Those are short-term support levels, and if the market's holding above it, again, it just means that the buyers are still in firm control. Below that, 87 quarter, 89 quarter is essentially the short-term bull bear zone, and as long as we're not breaking 2091 with any kind of big momentum and really weak internals, the buyers can still defend 87 quarter to 89 quarter. In the event of a downside move, a break below 87 quarter could lead to downside continuation, at least down to 79 to 81 half, and break below 87 quarter would tell us that short term the sellers can gain control. It doesn't mean it would change the bigger picture, but on the smaller time frames, a break below initial support could lead to a directional move and some short term long liquidation into 79 to 81 half. That's essentially the bottom of the recent short term balance, the short term range. Buyers can be active at 79 to 81 half. It is something that we'll need to gauge in real time. So as long as there's not any extreme weakness in the market, 79 to 81 half can still be defended. And if there is extreme weakness, if it's more of a trend down type move, then 79 may not hold, and we may have to go lower in order to attract responsive buyers in this market. But that's something again that will have to be gauged in real time. But as long as ES is holding above 2091, above initial support, the buyers are still in control. So our focus is still going to be more on long setups. But at this point, we do want to see that broad market participation in order to get a sustained upside move. So we do want to see a strong or strengthening advanced decline line. We do want to see some clear upside momentum. So the NYC tick should be, spending more time above zero, or at least, not have downward momentum like we've seen over the last couple of sessions. So we do want to see an improvement in the market internals, the underlying breadth, in order to get a sustained upside move. Otherwise, we could be either continued stuck in a balance or actually get a downside push. So that's really the primary scenario heading into the open. Let's see if the buyers can hold it above 2091, above the initial support zone. That'll help us establish the bias on the day. On the econ front, the Philly Fed survey at 9 a.m. Central Time is really the main catalyst this morning. So, in the first 30 minutes, we could get a little bit more continued balance. It's just going to be a matter of where the market's balancing. And if it's holding above 2091, then it tells us that the buyers are still in control and we can still get a upside push. So those are the main thoughts heading into the open. Let's see how well the buyers can hold ES at 2091 at initial support, and we'll take it from there.